2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. Okay. Now we can start this thing. So you can tell, I kind of fudged this already. I don't know where to put this shanks in here. Whatever. These tiers, I think I'm gonna customize them a little bit because, to be fair, it's not that serious. Just having my take on a tier list for this format. I am not the most proficient player. If you want to look into that, I recommend you check out my friends at Worst Generation. They had the actual tier list done. They already recorded it, but the thing is that I cannot make it because I was sick. So I'm doing my own. If you want a more critical one, I recommend you check it out when Trevor uploads it to YouTube on the Worst Generation YouTube channel. So, but normally I would have been in it. It's just that I didn't feel well. I ate, like, it's not expired, but the mac and cheese I got from Wawa was kind of like, it felt weird. It tasted like, because it was buffalo mac with chicken, and it was, I don't know, off tasting. But anyways, I'm gonna customize this. So before I make this thing, I thought about making it like Pokemon, where it's like Uber, OU, all that stuff, but that's, I don't think everybody will get it. So I'm just gonna be simple and concise on this. I'm gonna do the best, because the best deck is just the one, right? I'm gonna go really, really good. I'm gonna do good. I think that's good. Perfect. It's next shanks. Alright, so I think that's going to be fair. So basically the criteria is going to be the best is the best deck in the format, obviously. Really good is it's a really good deck. Not much to do against it. Good, it means that it's just good overall, but it's not quite really good or the best. Man, it's like somewhere in the middle. It's serviceable. It's playable. It's not an issue. Next is meme, and that's, imagine you're playing Uta locals. You're memeing. You know, you're playing King, you're playing Iceberg, you're memeing. Spoiler to the 3 I'm gonna pick for that. Dog Water is like the worst decks, mostly because you can't even really meme with them, or like they're not optimal, or there's better options than these, obviously. But pretty much the most important things are going to be at the top, I would say, on organizing the bottom. Sorry, the top 3. The bottom 3 are just like, it could be anything really. So I'm just going to jump in and out on these cards. So we have every leader from OP01 through 5, the 2 promos, the new one that Luffy came from Sealed Battle, and actually, I don't know what he actually does. Let me look up. Is he even on this thing? I don't think he... wait. Is this Luffy on Nakama decks? Luffy and blue. Oh, he's okay. One Piece card there. Fail. Is Luffy on this one? Search for Luffy. Okay. Color blue. TCG player. Monkey. I hate how the Archer card text is in periods. Where are you at? Where are you at? I know they sell you. Cat, please be here. I don't want to go back to the actual official website and dig out the sealed battle info. Okay, here we go. So this is promo pack 3 or 4 in Japan, and it became the sealed battle promo for us, I guess. Yeah, there's a sealed battle promo pack. Alright, Donix 1 when attacking. Draw 1 card if you have 3 or less cards in your hand. So it's pretty basic. You get a new card basically when you swing 6 or higher, and you always will have 1 more card. So that's kind of neat. So let me put this again on the other side. Cool. Hey, Whooping King. It's in the back. You mean the in card dev or Nakama decks? Well, I'm gonna put the chat. Can I? No, I can see chat that way. There we go. Anyways, I know the effect. It's you draw one card, so it's nothing crazy. It's a mono blue, mono color, so you get 5 life. All right, so I'm gonna just skip to this. Really easy. I'm gonna just actually make it easy for myself. I'm gonna do this. So these are in order. I'm just gonna say this, namely being because based on what I've seen in tournaments in Asia and how the deck plays by people that have play tested it, this is like statistically the best deck in that format. That format in Asian has already long gone, and apparently it's barely making a splash in comparison to like Gecko Moria or Yamato. I think it finally got top 2 in Malaysia, but before that Yamato won twice, Whitebeard got second, Enel got second, you know. So now there's more variety, more threats in the meta. In OP06, he's not the best, but right now he is the best for OP05. My bad, I thought you were looking for on the list. No. Just the text, because I didn't know what it said. These cards I can't zoom him in, so. Alright, so we have him. In my opinion, he is the best deck of the format. It's consistent, it combos a lot. It's got a really oppressive game state where you're like, nothing is safe. Even your big drop characters, they're not safe against it. Some variants play the big Kaido, and they're just burying you 6 feet under with that when they get to draw 4 or 3 or 4, whatever it is. But ultimately, just blue and black, the cost reduction and the removal by bottoming or the KOing that black provides is insane. It's really hard to get over once they get going with their tempo. And blue in general is a threat to like some red decks because they just cut them off. Like say Whitebeard, you know, blue was really tough against Whitebeard. It was really tough for Whitebeard to play against blue because they have 3,000 worlds. They have their red rock. So this is why I think this is the best deck, and I think it will be as a deck that will get results in the global version of the game, just like it did in Asia. However, I still think there's more holdouts in the Western world of people that will want to use Whitebeard. A lot of commentary I see from people like in America, in Europe, is that Whitebeard is so usable, or if not, Red Purple Luffy. And now that it's both of the decks are at full capacity now because they have the Marcos back, they have the Rat Beams back, they get stronger than ever, and you get a lot of combos from Red Purple Luffy because you can do drop down Newgate plus 1,000 to your leader. Do they play with the starter deck kit plus 1,000? So you have a 7 or 8 or 9,000 attack power leader through your opponent's turn. That's pretty big. The only drawback is that he has like 3 life, but it don't matter if you have 4 Rat Beams, right? So that's that. Additionally, like I've been saying on the podcast, you might have seen me, rant about it every single time. It's a triangle meta, but Sakatsuki is the one that stood out the most. Is the one that won the most events, so that's why I put it at the very top of the triangle. The other 2 in the triangle are gonna be these 2 guys, and I'm gonna go one by one. So we have, I'm gonna do this one first. Luffy, it's basically purple is really strong, ramp is insane. You have all the access to all the good cards that you could get from, Red Purple Luffy or Law or Kid. This one you can play. This is the reason why things like Queen and Kaido, Polly, while they all went up in price. So if your cards became expensive and you made money on them, this is the guy you gotta thank. If you're looking to buy stuff, this is the guy you're gonna hate because that's the reason why it went up. Overall, this guy is the reason why this guy cannot be the best. Because he'll block it out with all the cards that he plays that are Luffy and anti-Enel. But thankfully, Enel in set 5 is a deck that can be a hybrid or a pure build with some slight, Skypia. Basically what he does is that he doesn't die. it's really hard for him to die unless you have like several attacks lined up. Hey Kiana, what's up? So what tier would Goku be if he was in this game, or does he get his own tier? So Goku tier, I would say it's gonna be Shanks. Because if you've seen One Piece Film Red, you see Shanks is that guy. He has a dog in him. He's really strong. I'm kidding. This is a joke. Please don't bash me. The fans want to know. But you already know our conversations. Goku is strong, and he is one of the strongest anime characters, minus some hacks. Anyways, jokes aside, so these two, this is what completes the triangle. But one thing is that a lot of people fill out a Whitebeard, and Whitebeard is so strong. It's a really good deck, and I think it's not quite dead yet. So, but I think that we have 3 whole new decks to play. People still want to play the 3 captains. So purely based on popularity and usage, I think Whitebeard is going to be one of those decks that are played by the few that still believe in it. So it's going to have a really good conversion rate in regionals and treasure cups. But okay, so you say yes now. There is only one more regional in North America for this season, as far as I'm aware. We have a regional on December 16th and a 3v3 on the same day in California, hosted by Core TCG. I don't fully know if there's more events in Europe or Latin America. There might be, online or in person, I'm not sure. But after that regional on December 16th, we're not going to get any events until after the each region's finals. So the Nats, you know, but it's not really Nats because they're like the continental finals, you know, Europe, Latin America, North America, Oceania. So that's the region's finals. And that's going to be, Europe is January 20th. Yeah, Europe is, January 20th. In Amsterdam, no, sorry, not Amsterdam. In the Netherlands, in Utrecht, I'm going to be there. And then Latin America, I think it's in Chile, and Oceania in Australia somewhere, and North America at the Bandai Card Fest in LA, where they're going to have all the Bandai games in one venue. So it's going to be a huge event. That's going to be the 27th. Yeah. So after that, we're going to start having Treasure Cups. So by the time I think we start doing Treasure Cups, it's going to be OP05.5 format, I think, because that's when we get the Uta starter deck. So that's going to be bring a whole new spice to playing green, which it desperately needed. But anyhow, yeah, I would say, just to reiterate, this is the best deck right here. These two are really, really good, and they're just not as good as this one per se. Overall, I do love Enel. It's my favorite character. That's why I stand it. That's why I'm playing it this format, and I'm most likely gonna be playing either this or this at Nats. The reason why Enel is so cool to me is because you can play like so conservative and stay alive for as long as possible, not have to be in fear of always being in lethal, because if you manage your life, you're never one shot away from dying, you know. And then right now there's some variants. I'm still on the fence on what to play with this, because it could be full Big Mom package. You play Peros, you play Crackers, you play Puddings, 7-drop Big Mom, Katakuri. You play all that, or you could play more generic stuff. You can just play Yamato, Katakuri, some Big Mom. You can put in Sky Island stuff. I've tried some with the upper yard stage in Konis, so you get a draw. I've tried Shura, so you get your search, because the searcher is a trigger effect where you can proc him, like play him from the trigger and do his effect. So that's kind of nice. It's a free board. It's a free character, free search. It's like you're pulling Whitebeard Pirates from life, pretty much. And then you could also play and it's a really strong character because you're always going to be at 1 life. So when you're at 1 life, is a 6k attacker, and that already puts you at Whitebeard / Red Purple Luffy numbers, 6k. And if you have it in your hand or you manage to search it, you get your Holly, and that is a 3 cost 5000 attack character. So you have 2 characters rather. It's like, I don't know, Marauding Captain per se. So we have that, and then just the Enel character. The Enel character is insane. It's a 7 drop rusher, 7000 attack. The only thing is that if you were to die, you sack the top of your life. That's fine. But if there's a Luffy present, that's a character, it won't work. So that's why these two are like at odds with each other, I think. Then moving on, let me see. I'm gonna you start off with the new stuff, I guess. Let me. To be fair, I actually don't fully recall what's up. I know Bella Betty's the one that boosts, but I'm not sure what the Sabo. What did my boy do again? He character 5000 power with the KO. Oh yeah, so he saves your characters, and you neg them. So it's a, don't panic. He's staying there for a second. So let's do him. So just to read the effect. Let me open it this way, because I can see it that way now. Leaders. Sabo. Yeah, so I'm hoping you can see it from there. The next one, opponent's turn, once per turn, if your character with 5000 power or more, it's a whole thematic of Revolutionary Army to do stuff if it's a higher attack or something. You give that character minus 1000. So this is really good, I guess, if you're in a spot where there's only one swing happening or it's last swing, because if you give it minus 1000 for that remainder of the turn, it means that it makes it easier for more attackers to get through that body. Or it can make it into it'll bait your opponent to keep attacking that because it's easier to kill, I guess. But it's situational. I guess the draw for this will be plain black or Revolutionary Army. But I don't know. I feel Garp is more useful on this because Navy is really strong. You get straw hats. This one does not have straw hats, so you're forced to play the Revolutionary Army package. And for that, I feel like you might as well play Bella Betty. So don't burn me after this. So I'm gonna keep it at meh for right now. As for Betty, okay, so here's a problem here. I don't think she's good in comparison. Okay, so hold on. I think I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna put Whitebeard in a theoretical in the really good tier because it's so strong. So I'm gonna put Betty here because she's the one that boosts, right? She trash 1 army type, yeah, that's fine. 3 of your Revolutionary Army characters, up to 3. Gain plus 3000 power during this turn. Okay, so you're losing a card, but you're giving 3000 to all your Revolutionary characters, up to 3 of them, during this turn. And by doing so, say you have Morley, Karasu, and Lindbergh, you have 3 characters that have met the threshold of being over 7000. And Morley is an unblockable attacker. Lindbergh KOs a 3000 or less, I believe, on attack. So 1 attacking effects. Karasu, I believe Karasu negs the character or leader by 1000 or 2000, something like that. So all of those really strong effects. So just immediately off of 1 card, giving all 3 a boost, or your Koala, your regular character Bella Betty, I think it's really strong. And it also means the fact you can use yellow cards, your triggers. Yellow has the strongest triggers in the game, and your red cards. So I think, and also Koala's a 2K, so that's more exclusive cards towards that archetype. So I'm gonna put it out there for now. Yeah, because it's not quite Whitebeard level, I think. It's below that, so that's why I'm gonna keep Whitebeard here. So it's not a triangle, it's like a, well, it's still a triangle. Let me see. Where's the Rocinante? So Rocinante, I think it's a meh because it is the first leader with a keyword, I think, right? Because it's this one, and then Yamato's the next one in OP06 because that one has Banish, I want to say. Wait, I can just actually... She's not in this, dang it. Why is Yamato not on this thing? Yeah, anyway, it's a blocker. Yeah, that's fine. And in your turn, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set the leader as active. So blue and green, they're okay with their hand advantage. They usually don't have that much unless you're plussing endlessly with Raizo. Same with blue. I don't think they have that much draw power. So being under 6 is easy, especially because I think blue even wants to be low in hands because imagine with Salas and Love. So you're almost guaranteed to be set as active. Okay, so don't kill me. I'm not seeing the appeal or the in return. Okay, sorry, I wasn't seeing it. So now it means you can attack and on your opponent's turn. Yeah, okay. So it's decent effect to have a blocker that can save your characters, so it can let you have more opportunities keeping your big boys alive because sometimes they want to go after your big boys, and then, well, I can't guard it. Well, he can guard it for you. So he's like the character in the anime. So we have that. We got. Was that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. So let's backtrack. I think this guy here, it's always going to be good. It's pretty generic. It can apply to anything. It's got the best color and the best archetype in the game. It's got the most support. So I think this is always going to be a good card in sealed, in tournaments. I think it's won or topped in every format. I believe, as far as I'm aware. It got second place in GenCon in the regional. Russell got top 2 with it. And, well, no, he was a finalist. Tiebreakers. So he took it all the way to 8 rounds with a regular red Luffy. And also, I believe it won a Treasure Cup in OP02 format also. So that's another thing. So it's always going to be good. Then this guy, he's always going to be good. So as you can tell, all these generic like blanket effects are always going to be good because you give a Resodon, best color, best archetype. This dude here, he double swings. All you have to do is sack a card, you rest 3, and you can swing 12 twice. That can get over anything. It's hard to counter out of those things because usually most leaders are 5k. Even at 6k, you will have to be like on a Whitebeard boost to like easily dodge it. So if they're at 1 life or 0 life, there's usually no way around this guy. You're kind of screwed. Green so far has a few archetypes that are very good. Like Wano, we have the Supernovas, Film, and a lot of people want to just go to face, go full aggro with Film because Film is the one that gets you the most bored, I would say. And doesn't have much rule, but you don't need it because he's gonna swing hard every time. And you don't even have to draw into your good cards. If you don't see your good cards, well, your option is, well, I'm gonna swing again. I'm gonna swing again. And that's taking cards out of your opponent. That's gonna also get him low on life. And the closer he gets to 1 life, the more danger your opponent's at. So that's how I see it at least. And then we're gonna go to Kruk. Yeah, I think all these mono colors are gonna be like in the good tier because they're always useful. This guy can lift all your characters 5 or less, I think. So anything you play as a 5, it can get lifted. So blue does want to have high Dawn because you can play your Mihawk and your other top end, Doflamingo, your Kaidos. But sometimes it just works out better for them to short you of your turn by removing your big character you invested your Dawn on, you know, because you're basically invalidating that turn. So another thing you can do is once they're already at max Dawn and they have the big boys on field, they can lift your blocker, and there's no safeguarding against lifting characters, whereas some characters are safeguarded from KOing. You can't do anything about lifting, which is when you remove it, you send it back to the hand, or when you bottom deck something. So blue's really strong for that. And then Kaido. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the baseline here. No, I'm gonna have to make another tier, I think. I'm gonna have to add something between good and... yeah. No. I feel like there's... the gap is too close, so I gotta make something else inside there. Let's see. Good. Okay. This is a work in progress, guys. I'm gonna reshuffle as I go. But yeah, Kaido, as I was saying, it's good. It's kind of like playing Luffy. Purple is now coming back with all the cards that they're bringing into the table, like all the Wano Straw Hats, or Robin, the Uso Kichi, the Sangoro, that's a 6/8, the Sorojuro that can ramp you when attacking. They got Polly, they got the Rush Kaido, a lot of good cards. This one has specifically the ability to Onigashima and ramp you faster. It can play queens, it can play kings, it can play the 10-drop Kaido, which only king could do, because I think you require Animal Kingdom Pirates Leader to have the effect. So we'll say this. I think I'm gonna put her here. These are good. And alright, so now we're being serious with this one. This one, Shanks is really bad. There is a lot of things you can do with your leader, and there's better purple cards, purple leaders that can do what he does. Like, why would you play Shanks when you can play Kaido, when you can play Luffy, when you can play sometimes Iceberg, what and anyhow, playing Shanks, it's not a very popular character leader to play, because you normally play all the Fim cards in Dofi, because you have the ability to play green and purple. You can play your Nami Searcher, you can play your Luffy, you can combo with Brook, you can draw with Gil Tesoro. So there's not really a need to want to play Shanks when you can play Dofi. You can play Kaido, you can play, even Iceberg has some things that you can use with that, or you can play Magellan too. And Magellan is like super oppressive, if you happen to ramp and also remove their Dawn, that's really hard for them to come back from that. By the way, I'm sorry I haven't been seeing this. Matt Wolf, thank you for the follow, and Whooping King also thank you for the follow. Been doing good at our locals. Oh, from Kirby. Oh, what's up? Corazon's been doing good. Our best player who's top paid in regional twice. He's been getting 2, 3 place, second, third place at our local. Okay, yeah. So the way I see things differently with locals and regionals, it's that I think locals have an easier time to have them top, because you're playing between 3 to 5 or 6 rounds, and there is, like, you're rolling a die, so, or you're flipping a coin, so you have a higher chance to flip a coin the way you want. So you want to flip heads as many times as possible. You have a higher chance of flipping heads 5 times in a row than you would 8 to 9, 10, 12 times, right? So that's why I think, especially like in my local area in Florida, we always see a lot of Katakuri, I always saw a lot of Katakuri when I would get deck lists submitted to me, and then it's like, wow, Katakuri is doing really good. But Katakuri wasn't winning anything, sans a few exceptions like Tyler Chaplin getting 4th at Kissimmee, or some getting top 16 finishes. Like, it didn't really win until after it stopped being threatened by Whitebeard. You know, also a lot of people don't really want to play the same deck over and over again, so by playing different decks, like, they want to have more fun, or, you know, say a top tier player, say you have Cross, he could go to locals and play Zoro, or he could play, you know, Blue Dofi. He could still top, he could still win. It's a good player playing a decent deck, and that can take you places. But anyways, where was I? So we had the Kaido, he was good. Shanks was bad. So now we're doing memes. Let's do memes. So Iceberg is a meme deck because it's super specific to its type. It's a cool idea. You know, a leader that can't attack is a really big drawback, and Rebecca is barely the only one that can escape not being locked out of being bad because of the other things that it can do while it cannot attack. Like all the combo that you get and all the things that enable you to attack active characters, to attack a turn they're played. It makes it easier for Rebecca to not miss attacking because he has other usability towards it. Like, you know, if your Kyros is dying, oh, you rest your Rebecca. It got useful, and it became useful. It's not a dud. This guy is strong in the fact that you can bring out your Galila characters or Water 7 characters, but it's locked to that archetype, and I don't think it's very strong. It has individually good effects, but there's the thing where you can play better characters, better leaders. And then Ice 2 is too slow. Any deck that summons and pass struggles with this. Yes. So it's a playable deck. People can play it and win, but it is slow when you have red purple Luffy, you have Law, the red purple one, and they're purple. They have the same cards and they're going, you know, 100 miles an hour. So that's why I think it's a meme. Another one that's no. Okay, so straight up, I think Sakazuki is bad. It is literally you're just playing Kobe, and there is substantially better black leaders you can play, like Smoker. So not much to say about Sakazuki over here, other than it's cool that you play in Akainu, but you can play. This is, imagine saying, oh, you want to get Sakazuki? No, we have Sakazuki at home. You know, it's not. Imagine you send your mom to buy your cards and you tell her, I want a Sakazuki, and she gets you this one. Big Mom, I think she's okay. It's a nice effect, but I think it falls behind to the other yellow decks in this format. Namely just Katakuri and Enel. I think Enel and Katakuri are the best decks to play there. Which reminds me, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Since we have Whitebeard added to this like list of things, yellow is really strong. It can get around a lot of things, but I still think that Katakuri is a viable leader because 10-drop Big Mom is insane. This guy can swing 7,000 for 1 Dawn. It can see life. It can get you to have effects you normally wouldn't have with Enel. Like Enel is cool, but 7-drop Big Mom is nice, but sacking their life and gaining a life at the same time while having a 12,000 beater is pretty big. Like, Enel does not have that top end. Enel's top end is Yamato at 9,000, Katakuri at 8, and Big Mom at 8 also. The Berry Enel is 7,000, so that's where the line ends. I think Katakuri has the biggest beater on board, unless Sakazuki itself is playing the new Kaido. So yeah, this is definitely still a really good card. These two play the same cards, virtually the same cards. You know, they can play Pero, they can play Cracker, they can play Pudding, they can play Brulee. So I would say these are two sides of the same coin, maybe. Let me see. These are fine. I'm gonna put Red Purple Luffy. I think he's really good, and despite having 3 life, being a 6k attacker, well, character leader, is also really good because it messes up a lot of people's math. It forces people to deck build around it. So, like example, we had Kingdu. Kingdu's a 5/7. People play that because or any 5/7 really, because that's the number to get you to do 2-card discard to counter to 7. So because of Whitebeard, they made it so like, oh, you have to play the attach the 6/8, because then when you're playing against Whitebeard, then when they swing, they have to drop 2 cards just so that if they play, say, a Kingdu at 7,000, they can use counter 2k. That's 1 card, so that's why they do it that way. I know this doesn't apply to OP05, but with the new yellow cards, 3 Brothers starter deck that let you rearrange life, there's no point in playing Big Mom. Yeah, so Big Mom has been outdated kind of, really. And a lot of the times, more than enough, the dual color leaders are stronger. Unless you get Komoria, which is apparently winning events now. I might make another tier between these over here, actually. But yeah, Red Purple Luffy. It's really strong. It has the same kit as playing this Luffy and this Whitebeard. So you can play Rush Luffy, you play your Queen, you play the kit that boosts you by 1,000. You can play your New Gates, 4 Rad Beams, so super strong. Like, just playing those previously banned cards or restricted cards is really good. Hey, OP Magician, what's up? I'm cooking this tier list. It's not that serious, so you know, okay? I'm doing my take on it. It's not meant to be, Hey, whoa! Did I get a raid? Oh, Luffy TV, hey! Thank you, man, appreciate it. Sorry, I was reading the chat from my slobs and not the chat from my Twitch. Thank you for the raid, yeah. So I'm just doing this tier list. Still working on the titles on the left. But the top part of this is kind of what I think it should be. Why is this post over here? Microphone's in the way. Don't take it serious, please. If you want a more critical tier list, wait for when the word generation drops it, because they're the ones that have Luffy's and Luffy's, no Shanks. They don't have Shanks because they threw up Yoria. But anyhow, yeah, this is... I'm someone that sees deck lists being shown by people all around the world. People come to me and send me deck lists of like Italy, Greece, Peru, Ecuador, Chile, Mexico. So I see all this list, and I can kind of compare like, well, this is how I think the meta is in this country or this continent. And also from what I've seen in One Piece Top Decks, like Raymond, his website is really good on getting that information from Asia, because Asia is really difficult, whereas as far as I'm concerned, the TO does not really get the deck list from them. The player has to consent to give out the information, which is wild to me, because here the TO has the list and they can do whatever they want with that. Always when I post my deck list, I always ask the players if they can give it to me, which is my way of bypassing waiting for the TO to turn it into public for us. So like, say my friend Gerald, he won Treasure Cup, and I asked him, hey Gerald, can I see your deck list that won Treasure Cup with Luffy? Yeah, sure, I got it. And I was able to get it out way before Core TCG did on the Bandai Organized Play Discord, But normally, so all my deck lists that I post are player submissions, so I don't have any secret sauce or anything. But Asia is just difficult. Like, you see, either they don't have to post a deck list, or, and this is my personal opinion, I am really not a fan of them covering like 10 cards and putting, here's my deck list, and having 10 cards turned around. It's like, oh. So sometimes it could make sense because it could be something spicy, but if you're like, bro, if you're doing law, we know what it is. You're not cooking anything. Yeah, I hope you had a good stream there, Luffy. Appreciate you. I appreciate you for the raid. And then I wish Sabo was good. Sabo is cool, but I think the new one is gonna be better. There are no red cards that we know Law. Yeah, Law's playing set 1 cards and it still wins. It's insane. You can't fight consistency like that. Anyways, we are a Big Mom. I was saying she's okay. For right now, I think next set she might fall even lower. So let's do Luffy. Let's get the starter decks. I think he's also okay. It's top events in Europe. It top once in Knoxville. I think. Yeah, I'm glad you have on there. It's hard for me to make streams in the daytime because I work at Disney, and it's like I got home like at 1-ish. Like, okay, let's do a deck list, tier list. He's good. It's a really cool, unique effect to always do a boost. But it's also a false victim to the point of like there's better black leaders. You can play Smoker, you can play Lucci, you know, things like that. And then yeah, it's just there's better options. That's the only issue that he has. But it is Straw Hats. I don't think there's much going on with the Straw Hat package in black, so that's another issue. So if he was dual color, it might be different. Like if you wanted to play Straw Hats in black, you might as well just play Garp, because Garp is, you play all the red cards, you play all the black cards. But the problem is that red and black is like a different playstyle. Like red will deal with attack values, so like Jet Pistol KOs attack value, Red Hawk KOs attack value, but then you have black cards that KO based on cost, so it kind of conflicts. And that's why I think Sakatsuki is the better combo of blue and black, because you're reducing for your blue effects to go through. So that's one way to see it. I got to visit my fiance's family in Orlando 3 times a year. We go to Universal a ton. Hey, I like Universal too. Actually, I'm gonna go to this Grinch breakfast. My friend invited me to. Never been. I am a first-year Universal pass holder, and it's been good. As someone that's been going to the theme parks my entire life at Disney, I do appreciate the change in difference. Big difference in customer service. Like I went to the taco place, the Bumblebee guy from Simpsons, and I ordered food, and it was like 7-Eleven gas station service. But anyways, yeah, Kaido. No, sorry, Luffy. Yamato. Unfortunately, it's not that Yamato's bad. It's just that Yamato is not as good, and that's what I'm gonna put it here right now. Again, it is on your turn, your opponent's turn, 6k leader when you're at 2 or less life, so it's conditionally. It's got all the good yellow cards, all the triggers. It cannot play 10-drop Big Mom, and that's a problem. And that's a problem that even he suffers, but not as much because he has other cards in his toolbox that he can use. We need real Red Navy cards, not vanillas. That is true. It's a vanilla. Yeah, Yamato. It's nice. I would love it to be better, and actually, in fact, it will be better in set 6. Red, purple. Okay, so on these ones, hold on. Don't judge me too hard. My single experience of seeing this leader has been me casting the Cancun Regional. So at Pasadena, Whitebeard was banned, right? I played green, purple Doflamingo because I like the idea of getting 2 Dawn back. I played around it, it seemed fine. I did Dark Crap because I didn't respect all the matchups. I thought it was going to be easy breezy, you know, play your Punk Gibson, play your Spiderweb. And I played against a lot of yellow, and each yellow matchup was 3 triggers or more. So that was demoralizing. So that was the regional that you cannot play 3 captains, unfortunately. So I did not follow much of the meta for that 4.5 until the end when I went to Cancun and I casted the event basically mostly in Spanish. And for that I do want to thank Kevin, Nick, Cross, all of them for being there so I can talk to them in English, because otherwise I would have been in full Spanish the entire time. But as you want to know, Jose Luis won with Red Purple Long, and I think he took a lot of people by surprise because no one really played the set against it. The biggest suspect was going to be Red Purple Luffy, and it did well. But this guy, it had 2 feature matches at the end. Actually, no, it had 1 in Swiss and 2 in Top Cut, and it lost the Swiss one because it ultimately came down to a red purple Luffy matchup against Law, and the Luffy just went Whitebeard 15 swing with the Luffy. Couldn't get over that. Law, it ended up winning by beating green purple Luffy back to back, and based on some things I've heard from people like other than America and Japan and Asia, Hiroshi Shisho, the Twitter user that posts all the translations and stuff, he told me like, well, normally it's a good matchup for us when you're playing Dofi because this and this and that, but I guess they play it differently than they do here. So based on my understanding of how it plays in 4.5, and I can only assume it gets, you know, stronger, I would think he's still a good card, a good leader. Maybe not as good as him, or not as good as this guy, because being dual color sometimes, being a 4 can be hard, especially if you're getting, you know, dropped against Big Mom. And all this guy plays is just five 4 drops, so anything small just gets lifted. He just, bottom decked. So that's really strong, but what does he do against bigger cards? This guy does not have cost reduction. This guy doesn't... I don't think he has anything in his deck that can actually beat anything big, so I'm not sure how he would do against these other decks that have big bodies, the Newgate, the Big Mom, you know, 7-drop Big Mom, Katakuri, Yamato. So I think I'm going to put him in okay and good, for right now at least. So put him there. But yeah, so I do think Luffy's better. Kid. What does Kid do actually? I don't know now what he does. It's okay, so he's 5,000. He is 5 life as a dual color, so that's rare because the only other 2 dual colors that are 5 life don't attack. Your turn. If you have 4 or more life cards, get this leader minus 1,000 power. Okay, so he'll start off 1 4 or more life. So he'll have 2 turns where he is 4,000. And then when attacking, Dawn -1, so you Dawn -1. Okay, so essentially, when you Dawn -1, he becomes 6,000 until you're at 3 life. When you're below 4 life, he becomes a 7,000 attacker when you Dawn -. So that's cool, but that falls prey to the white blade is when I can play the other card, and that's the Luffy. Yeah, you want to be at 3 life, and overall it's not, you know, it's not bad because this Luffy is at 3 life, but it's already automatically, he's for free at 6,000 power, and you don't have to Dawn -1 for him to be higher than that. So why play Kid when you can play him? I think he is the weakest of the 3 captains, and not just, you know, story-wise. I think I don't want to say it's this dog water. All right, burn me. I'll put it there. Captain Useless Mid. Yeah. Zoro. I think he's good. Maybe pending what happens in Pasadena. Well, it's not Pasadena. It's NLA. I think this might be a really good or good. But the issue is, to me, it's results change people's playstyle, results change people's deck building. Like how in set 1, it was all Kid and Luffy, and then because he became all Kid, people played Law because Kid couldn't really beat Law, and then Luffy just stomped the other one. So it was like a bit of both, but Law was just a stronger deck. And so if one deck is around, the other one would not be as prevalent. So like even in set 4, what I would think, it's Crocodile and Dofi are not as prevalent because Zoro and Zoro exist. So therefore they're not gonna be seen as much. So if you play Whitebeard, you're blessed because you're gonna see less Dofi and Crocs because Zoro people, there's Zoros going on, you know. That's just my way of seeing things. Roblucci keeps Law and Zoro on check. Roblucci, because the restand. Yeah, and also everything in Zoro is so low to the ground, it's easy to pop it. So you can use Kaku or Kobe. If they get a hand advantage, you issue them, so it does do that. King, that's a meme deck, and so far they're both purple decks. King is literally playing Kaido, but doesn't do anything really. It's like you're playing almost Shanks, but with a different archetype. Blurple. Blurple's okay. Blurple, blue and purple is good. They have similar objectives where they KO based on cost, or bottom deck, or spin or lift based on cost, so that's fine. It's got good defensive cards. It's gonna have your Red Rock, your 3000 Worlds. It has good defenses. It can play Queen. It can play Mihawk. It's got good events overall. It's just you can play other cards, and that's the main issue with a lot of the decks here. Is like they're not bad. It's just that they're way better leaders above it that you can play. Yeah. Law. From my personal experience, knowing that one of my friends is one of the best Law players in the world, I'm gonna give it to Law. Might make something here. Yeah, I think Law is still good. It didn't really lose much from having cards restricted, I think, because the deck just evolved to play Whitebeard Pirates, and it did fine. It topped, so it's a deck that can win. But I do think ultimately the Dadan is just one of the strongest cards in the game because it is a generic card that generically gets you any searcher that's red. So doing that will get your Makino, your Otama, your Nami, your everything. Actually, I think Bello Betty is Bello Betty a 1, so you can get that too. So that's a lot. Forecast Ravolucci, just as strong. All these like so you can see it. Forecast Ravolucci. Oh, the black one, yeah. Sorry, I meant the character itself. I thought you meant the one from OP03. So we have, he's on the good side, but I think I have too many really good leaders, so I might make another one next to that. This guy's meme. Yeah. So this guy is not bad, but you can play other leaders. Odin is finally getting the due respect he deserves. He's gonna cook, he's gonna get boiled, he's gonna be one of the best leaders, or at least be a very playable leader. And in the extra booster, he's a red green, so that's definitely gonna be a good card. I believe the effect is he makes any Wano card have counter. So Okiku, we have Denjiro, all those guys are gonna have counter. Your Yamato's gonna have counter, so that is something that green desperately needed, and that's counter. Green does not have a lot of counter power, so having all counter is really good for green. So yeah, it's not his time yet, but the next Odin will take its place and doing better. Dofi, I think it's also one of those leaders that are just okay right now. It's really nice to do your 7 swing and have all the blue defenses, the Red Rock, 3000 Worlds. Bring out your Morias, stack your deck with Perona. But if you're playing blue, why are you not playing Sakasuki? And that's why. I think this is a meme deck. Because you're playing, you know, the protagonist and everything, but they haven't quite cracked playing this Luffy yet. It is a really good effect, but I think right now the only archetype that I play is Film Straw Hats. I could be wrong, but it's not very optimal when you can play Law, you know, as a red and green. You can play Law, you can play Luffy by itself, you can play, you know, Kinemon, you can play Kid. There's many options out there. And I feel like if you want to play Film, you might as well just play Dofi or Kid in that regard. Let's see what else. Kaido. This one is the one that ramps, I believe, right? So, yeah. One upon his character is KO'd, so when you KO, you ramp. Okay. So that's okay. That's met. Yeah. Again, blue purple. You might as well play purple croc. You could play queen. So this is solely if you want to hit 10 drop Kaido, I guess. I have blue's defenses. I'm gonna go to Smoker. Smoker is an okay card. It's not on the level of the ones above it, because if you're playing black, you're playing the navy package, you might as well play this. That's, which is not a bad thing, really. It means that most decks are serviceable, they're playable, they're viable. They're just not going to, like I said earlier with the coin flip thing, is that you want to have a deck that you can, you know, flip a coin and get heads 8 through 12 times, because usually it's like, you know, your regionals are 8 to 9 rounds. It could be 10 sometimes, and the biggest one we had 11 rounds. Then you have top cut, so you want to have a deck that always gets you the face of the coin that you want, and this is fine, but there's more consistency in playing this, especially with the draw mechanic that he has. Green, red, Luffy, and King need a rework. Errata. Luffy should be 2 Dawn, and King should be the opposite of Zoro. Dawn X1. Yes, so I feel like that could be a thing, but also rewriting cards, in my opinion, is really, really bad game design, and it's like a backpedal per se. The only thing that it can possibly do is to rework the leader into a new card. In example, Odin sucked. Well, we have a new Odin now, so that's my way of seeing it. Because if you change a card's stacks, it's only going to make it confusing when new players arrive to the game, and that's something that's happened a lot with like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, and it's just better if we leave it, you know, in the past, move on, have a new card, and have it do the same thing it does, but the way it was intended. That's how I see it at least. Garp, like I said earlier, Garp is that leader that it has conflicting color, conflicting color ideals, because red is a theme that deals with attack power, black deals with cost reduction. So like your jet pistol doesn't have any interaction with black cards that lower cost. That's the problem. He's not awful, but you're better off playing other red cards or other black cards. So I think he's kind of bad in that regards. It's between these two of the meme or dog water. Nothing will ever be as bad as Shanks, of course, but yeah, that's his I see it for right now. Here. What else? We have Kinemon. I think Kinemon's okay. Kinemon was considered to be a slower deck, and that's why he got outpaced in OP03 and 4 format. But it's been seeing a resurgence in the 4. Oh, I saw some gameplay, you know, in prior formats because of like William Craddock. I'm sorry, no. Andres Rivera, my friend, he is the one that topped with Kinemon in an online regional. So he's the one that brought it back. And it's a leader that wasn't played as much, so it definitely had a big surprise factor. Green is really good, say against like yellow, for example, because if you get your curb, you get your Yamato, you can hit that banish and threaten into yellow. They're screwed, because if you're swinging Yamato, they can't get their triggers proc, and that was proven by the Mexican regional winner that won with Kinemon. And we saw a few matchups on stream at the Cancun Regional where Kinemon did beat yellow. So it's definitely, you know, sometimes they could have a really bad hand. Sometimes they have an amazing hand. But I think he's okay right now. We will have a better green leader in a few months with Uta. And I think she will be the best mono green leader after that when she comes out. Sanji. Sanji is... I'm gonna switch around these two later probably, but Sanji is a fun effect. Green and blue don't really blend in their color identities, because one rests and the other one like sends back to the hand or bottom decks. And this is a deck that has a lot of vanillas, so there's not much synergy. And most of the straw hats are gonna be in the red color for like the searches and stuff, so it's not that great. Ivankov, I'm gonna say Ivankov, I'm gonna put it on meh, because yes, it did top at Pasadena. I think it was top 32, I believe, by PokeDeals on Twitter. But again, you have a couple of things. You have one, you have this bad boy here at the top of the food chain, and it's very high rolly. So the fact that it's high rolly means that it's not consistent, because you're depending on your draws. At least with like Enel and Katakuri, you have this ginormous bodies that you can drop as your defense, and their triggers, even if you don't get them, the events are good too. So I feel like right now it's just okay. Magellan, I think Magellan is good. Magellan is a tier below Luffy for sure, I think, in my opinion, because this guy's just too good. Magellan instead offers you, I don't want to say aggro, but it's like playing Smoker per se, when you get plus 1000, right? You get plus 1000 when you don't minus your opponent. So that's, let me double check. Magellan did Magellan was when a Dawn returned, when Annie Dawn. Okay, so that's pretty good, I'd say. You get plus 1000, so it puts you on Whitebeard and Red Purple Luffy numbers, a 6k value. It can play all of the purple cards. The only thing it doesn't play is the 10-drop Kaido. So when you're seeing it that way, if you play all the purple cards, why can't you just play this? So that's the reason why. Said. Zephyr, I feel like it's something with this, because I think purple and black are similar to blue and black in the sense that cost reduction and making it meet the threshold of what you can KO or bottom deck is really good. It's just that I don't know if it's a support, but it's just not doing the best that it can be. Whereas maybe it's the events, and that's why blue and black is so much better, I think. I think I'm gonna put this in meme for right now. I did see some hella good gameplay at a 3v3 in Greenbelt, because it was a 3v3 and we had a set player, and I believe it won their match, so that was fun. Let me see what else. Asu. So not to insult Jacoby over here, I think Ace. Actually, no, I'm gonna say Ace is good. Ace is good because it got back a lot of the firepower from the Marcos, the Rat Beams. More events makes Ace happy, and I think that's gonna be a good thing for Ace players, so they're gonna eat with that. Kuro. So Kuro, the way I see it, Kuro was a product of the global version's ban list, because having Whitebeard limited, the character, made it so Kuro could rise. Now that Whitebeard is unleashed and having there be 4 Rat Beams and all his defense, it kind of makes him invalid in the sense, like if you want a double swing, you might as well just get Kid. And it's got a way better support system to have Kid and do Supernova or Film or Wano, whatever you want, in comparison to East Blue, you know. That's just how I see it at least. Arlong is a meme. It was a cool idea on paper, but it's not consistent. it's got kind of conflicting color identity, because one is resting and one is triggers. But it does have some things in common, like Kurobi can rest on trigger and it's essentially Punk Gibson. But I think that there is going to be better leaders to play, because you're playing for life. You might as well play Kinemon, you might as well play Katakuri or Enel. So basically you're playing anything that's yellow. If you're not playing these two, you're memeing, right? So that's how I'm seeing that one. Nami is a wild card. I think she's still good. But I'm not quite sure. This is entirely dependent on how much red is going to be played, because this guy is the reason why she doesn't win anything. So if the Nami sees good matchups in an event, you know, there's a big chance that it can win, especially if it makes it to top cut, which we don't really have much top cut in the United States. We should have top cut at the regions finals in LA or Latin America, Chile, whichever. So I think she's good, but it is entirely dependent on what it sees. Lucci, I think it is slightly above playing Smoker, I think. Like, the cost reduction and the bonus is good, but Whitebeard coming back also means that black is now once again a viable color to go against Whitebeard with its double swing. But at the same time, it is not a higher tier because we have Sakazuki. So I think that's a fair analysis on that. Hey, Teen Titan, what's up? Thank you for the follow, by the way. Hello. A tier list is cool. Have you done Black Luffy Leader yet? Same with Mono Yellow Yamato. Yes, I did him earlier. So just to recap, the Luffy, I put both of them in okay. And mind you, okay, so I don't have Luffy, so I don't have Shanks. I just see a lot of people giving me results from their locals. I see results in regionals, preliminaries in Asia, flagship battles, and my own personal take on me playing the game. This Luffy is okay, but the problem with him that he can't be higher than okay is because there is also going to be World Lucci that's black available. We're going to have also Sakazuki that's available. So because these exist, he can't be higher on a tier list because you might as well play the other ones. Same goes for Yamato. Where did she go? Right here. Same goes for her, because if you're playing yellow, if you're not playing Enel or Katakuri, you're not going to be as successful, because having a conditional power boost on your leader is okay, but now we're in a full Whitebeard meta, so it's not going to be enough just to have 6,000 attack power on your opponent's turn, and not having the ability to play 10-drop Big Mom is huge. Like, this guy barely makes it out without it, and this guy has to have it to be competitive. So that makes her not as good, I think. Where is Rainbow Luffy? Rainbow Luffy does not... Rainbow Luffy is technically not a tierable character leader, because it could be anything, and it's exclusively only used at sealed battle events. So it becomes the only leader that you play. So technically he's God tier, in his own tier. Goku tier. Yeah, that's for my friend Keanu. He asked me about a Goku tier, so I made that. And it fit because I accidentally added a Shanks that I didn't mean to. I thought you would put Zoro in really good because it's such an aggressive attack. Yes, I might get there. I'm gonna readjust things. I just wanna put stuff on the board first. I'm gonna reassess that in a second there. Yeah, but thank you for reminding me. Alright, so back to black and yellow. I think this is a better mom, but not quite better enough to be on the above threshold. Unless I make another tier. But that's filling up the screen already, you know. Okay, that one's easy. The VV, red and blue is fine. It's just like not having to attack is really bad. and the support around BB, the Alabasta, is nowhere near as good as Dressrosa. And the funniest part is that there's even Alabasta cards that are black. The leader's not even black. I don't understand why they do this. Like Cobra is black. Why is Cobra black? That's literally her dad. So, unfortunately, she's not good. It is a cool idea, but there's no support behind her. Sakasuki gatekeeps Zoro, I think. Maybe. Maybe. I have to keep seeing the gameplay. For once, I'm actually gonna try and go to locals this weekend because, like I said, I work at Disney. I work full time there. We have to do a bid for days off every quarter or so, or like half a year. My days off at the beginning of the game were Friday, Saturday. I would always switch my days to be like Friday and Monday or Saturday and Monday, something like that. And I will go to locals on Mondays and we will play out with Garrett, Evan, and so on. And that'll be our local day. Or I would go to Coco and play at Gamers on Fridays, and I would go to locals. But now I've been working so much or traveling for events that it takes the time for me to actually play in the locals. But I have, it's the best time to play locals, I think, in my opinion, because we have some really cool promos coming out, the tournament packs. They're treasure cruise stamp cards that get the winner or not if you win. And we have something new to the table other than Whitebeard. We have what potentially could be the best deck and a variety of other decks. So now it's not just gonna be Zoro and Whitebeard. Now it's like Whitebeard, Sakasuki, Enel, could be Zoro. I'm gonna put it here for now, actually. Let me see. Isho, I think he's met. It is a really cool idea, but it's got a lot of good defenses. But better off playing other greens, like playing Sabo, playing all those blockers. Black has the best defense with those blockers. They're insane. Dofi, I think, is good. It's got more support now with the Donkey family now. You can play it mono, kind of now. You don't have to depend on film, so that's good. And 2 Dawn at the end of your turn is really, really good. It can use Spotter Whip, you can use Punk Gibson, 2 really good green event cards, so there's definitely a lot to go with that. And you can play all the top end, 10-drop Dofi, you can play Kaido, you can play Queen, so a lot of availability for him. Rebecca, I think she's still gonna be good, but not good. People have been trying to play with her, but the moment it sees yellow, it's just so difficult. So hard for her to get around things. I was unfortunate to at the Cancun regional that I casted. They told me, hey, we want to feature the past champions that are here from Mexico, and after that you have free reign to put whoever you want on stream. I'm like, oh, bet. Well, I'm gonna, because we want to make it like an international thing. I wanted to put American players, so I put Cross on round 4, and bless his heart, Cross was suffering from exhaustion, and he was currently at that time 3-0, and he came across a Katakuri player, and he tried his heart out trying to get out of that hole, but he couldn't get out. Katakuri was just doing things, unfortunately, and I think he got like 37th or something, which is not bad. For having to play against a deck you're really not great against. But yeah, Rebecca's fine. Rebecca has gone undefeated at events. It went undefeated at Knoxville, but it lost top cut to Queen. It went undefeated in Lyon, France, but I don't know what it lost in top cut. I don't know if it won one round of top cut or not. I'm also a more casual player. Don't play much to the meta when choosing decks. I play, but so cool info to know. Current decks: red and green Luffy and black Luffy. Also will be playing blue, yellow, ace. Yes, the 3 new leaders from that deck all look fun to play. Yellow is a really good subtype now, apparently. Subcolor. That happens when you enter the Casino Curio, unfortunately. Yeah, that is what Willing Crowder called it, because that's the reason his Kuro that topped didn't go any further in the tournament, because he lost to took Katakuri twice. So I'm gonna go back about the Casino Curry thing. Speaking of Casino Curry, actually, Queen is also really good. It's got big bodies. It can heal, and like he legit heals. So that's really cool. It's got a really strong support in its ability to stack its deck with Perona. It can do trigger stuff like at Cancun, for example, because this is the first album I asked and I actually watched gameplay. This dude was playing Queen and he wholeheartedly just won because he played what was it? It was the it stacked this life. It hard casted Brûlé, and then his last trigger was Boa, and then the guy could not get around that. And at one point he also beiged the leader kid, so therefore it put him like 2 swings behind where he couldn't win, and that was it for him. So it has a lot of good value you can do, and it's not necessarily under these guys. It's just that I think you can play Sakasuki, you can play these two here. But yeah, yellow has really good cards for that situational stuff like your triggers. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze right now. Excuse me. That happens when you enter. Yeah, Shirley, like Charlie, the yellow girl. Anyways, I'm not gonna say it. Purple yellow crocodile. This one's a monster actually. It's I would say it's a meme because the ability of him is super busted, and the fact that he can just loop with the bigger crocodile and heal, and also the events that it supports it, like color vision of color, something like that. You know, the girl with the palette. It's like it can prevent your opponent from attacking. It plays all the cards that are like big that ramp. Missile Sunday is really good. So basically, these two are kind of like the same, similar-ish, but blue has better support in my opinion. I might move it though. This is dog water. So this one, it has to do with vanillas, and fun fact, triggers are effects. So if a card has trigger, it is not a vanilla. So if it wasn't the case, she'd be a lot better, but unfortunately not. And this guy, I'm gonna put him in meh, because drawing is nice, but you can play Dofi, you can play Crocodile, you can play all those. So overall, a lot of these decks are in the way they are because there's better options. That's why there's not like that many bad cards. Okay, these are kind of bad, but I'm gonna tweak it right now, so hold on tight. Alright, so for sure I think that's the best. I'm gonna make one more here. Whoa, no, below. Okay, so let's tidy up a little bit. I think I'm gonna put it like this. I'm just marrying from top and bottom these to make space, to make the really good tier more exclusive. Kind of good. So as someone that hasn't played LoL, I'm gonna base this on the fact that the champion of Cancun is the one that told me this, that the reason why he played LoL is because it had the strength of OP05, but wouldn't play it after OP05 releases because then everything else will have caught up with the support. so I'm gonna bring him down to kind of good. Purple is fine. This guy, I feel like Lucci gets trended by a lot of other things, so I'm gonna put these here maybe. Hold on, I'm gonna see how it looks. I'm gonna keep tweaking this. I think Sora is really good. This is really, I think these are all really, really good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 decks in the really good tier. That's, I don't think all these decks are going to top in LA. That's just me, I think. It's gonna depend on what people want to play and bring to the event, and the conversion rate of, like, well, you have 1,000 people playing this leader, so therefore at least 1 or 2 are gonna top, right? So I know for sure he's staying here, he's staying here, he's staying here. This one is about the same as this. I think he'll go to good. I think Whitebeard is better in the sense that it's a safer 6,000 attack leader. It's got Whitebeard Pirates, it's got a better searcher, it can have different events be played. This is more like a glass cannon, and you have to pop off for your combo, and it can run out of gas. Whereas Whitebeard will have cards in hand, and it's more consistent, I think, I want to say. So 5, 6, and they're really good. Let's see what we got here. I don't know, man. I think you might be selling Rebecca a bit. Right, so might be selling a bit short. The deck got juiced up for a lot of reasons. Akatsuki got juiced. Correct, and that's why I am currently tweaking this around, because I felt the jump from tier to tier is really, really big. So I want to, like, pad it out a little bit. The original started leaders hanging out together. Yeah, and the reason why I said it earlier is because they're generic and they're monocolor, so 5 life, decent effects are always going to be viable, in my opinion. Like, you're going to see Kid be played always. You're going to see Kid always be played at a pre-release. You know, these 3 always get better at pre-releases, no matter what. This one's iffy. It's less consistent. But Purple has come leaps and bounds ahead of now that you don't need Onigashima to win and curve out. But yeah, let me keep touching this up a little bit here. He stays, he stays. I don't know how I feel about these 2 here being, and they're really good, because the reason why I say this, Law didn't have much presence in the OP05 format in Asia. So these 2 are entirely a Western motion. People in the West liking these 2 a lot. So I think it will get represented. So I'm gonna put him here for now. But again, this is like a projection of what I think how things are gonna be for us in the global version of the game, in so the Western meta. I'm gonna bring down these guys actually, unfortunately, because him being here brings a lot of people down. Yeah, so Rebecca, good. Croc, but it's like a French deck, really, so it can be anywhere. What we got? Law. Bring this down. I don't know how I feel about Kinemon being a thing now that we have all these Whitebeards, so I'm gonna have to bring him down, unfortunately. 6. This kind of good. Magellan here. This. I think I'm getting closer to what I want it to be. She's bad. She's bad. Where else? Sorry, I'm holding a sneeze here. Okay, meme now, at least. Unfortunately, because we have Whitebeard back at 4. Meme, that's fine. That's He could be better, but I haven't seen much in my own two eyes on what he can do. And it is blue and green, so there's other options in those colors. He's Smoker is only under this because there's Lucci over here, and Lucci's under because there's Sakasuki on top. Dofi's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't. Oops, sorry. I don't know if she's. I think actually she might. Yeah, she's back. So she's better. This is a really interesting leader. I think he has a lot of potential, especially if you pop off with your combo and you boost your characters like at the 7,000 or more threshold. He's okay. He's okay, and this is kind of good. Kind of good. You know, this one will always be good because of the effect. One of the best defenses in events and blockers. This one has a really good leader skill and the ability to KO just about anything. Super impressive with that. But cannot be higher than Sakasuki, so good French deck. It can catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of people don't know what to do against it. The only downside is that there's Ace and there's Whitebeard, and it's a problem for them. Croc is always going to be decent. I do think it's better than better than Dofi, so that's why I put him above. The ability to lift 5 or below is pretty good. Kaido, I'm on the fence of thinking he's okay or kind of good. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because we have a lot of purple in this set, a lot of options that it now gets that I didn't have before. People have been hoarding these polys for an eternity, so it might be better suited to be a more playable deck, but I think Magellan is a better leader than Kaido in this regard at least. And you know, it's back-to-back 3 tiers, 3 purple leaders. So there's that. Luffy. Oh, we got her. Oh, RP Law and just okay hurt. See, so in representation, like if I would go, let me see, because like I said, also my view is also based on deck representation, and from what I've seen, Law was not that used, unfortunately. You know, I hate to say it. OP05 meta. So like it might have been used in the 4.5, but let's see. We can see it's bigger. All right. Total decks: Sakasuki, 65 decks. Bello Betty, 12. Luffy. This is purple Luffy. 77. What the hell? Oh yeah, I guess so. But funny enough, Luffy's not the one that won all the CSs, all the preliminaries. It was Sakasuki. So don't forget that this is also a compendium of the flagship battles, standard battles, and exchange friendlies. I think it is. Enel 45, Sabo at 5. These are all locals. Rocinante has something. Okay. Uta is not in our format, unfortunately. Promo Luffy is gonna be. What is Promo Luffy? Is that the blue Luffy? Maybe. Then we have. It has to be that Luffy. We have Ace, only 3 aces. Nami, 2 Namis. Nami did win the very last preliminary of OP04, by the way. Katakuri, 27. So Katakuri was getting extraction done. So maybe I might drop down Katakuri actually. Charlotte and then no. Iceberg no. Arlong no. Queen, Crocodile, Red, Purple, Luffy, and Law. So Law did kind of okay actually. Like I thought it was way less than that. Then we have Kid. But the thing is, Film Kit was a Western thing, so that's why I think Kid, Zoro, and Law are all gonna be more played in the West. Same with Whitebeard. Kaido, the other Kaido. Law, 22 reps, not bad. Zoro, not bad. Smoker, Doflamingo, and Magellan. Let me see. Where is it? What was actually Law in this thing? A standard battle, first place. And did it play all the 5s or what? ulti, page 1, the usuals, the reductions. It played the blocker, okay. So it does play the blocker. So that is one of the new things that he gains from OP05, and the Gamma Knife. And Fire Fist. Yeah, because it's attack reduction, so that's really good for him. Yeah, it's decent. It was in Japan and Dragoon Hakata. Okay. Other than that, it's more of the other law, so that's the thing. So, if anything, I think I'm gonna put this here. You know what? I am gonna backpedal here, and I'm not gonna show for the Sakasugi here, so I'm gonna do this. Alright, so I'm gonna make it more fair, because Asia is Asia and the West is the West. So I'm gonna put these 6. I'm gonna leave these 6 as the really good decks. They each do their own thing. I'm gonna hold on. So these 3 are the ones that were the best in Asia, but these 3 are the ones that were the best before in the West. So I think we're gonna see a nice mix of all 6 of these decks. So I'll leave that one down. That one is done. Then for good, he's good. Tendra Big Mom, obviously, he's also good. You know, potentially a 9K leader with no done investment added to him. He's good because film is always good. It's, you know, aggro super good. Going full ham. He's good because of ramp, and Magellan is a really oppressive character. He's good because we have, in theory, he should be good because we have 4 Rapines back, we have 4 Marcos back, everything is back, you know, and he plays by the same kits, part of the kit of the Whitebeard Pirates. So Queen is good. It's a good defensive deck. She's good too, but I think the fact that yellow is more prevalent now is going to hurt her. I don't fully recall how her Whitebeard matchup was. Then Luffy, he's always gonna be good. That's why I put him there. He is also good in the sense that we come a long way from purple being the least played color to like, oh, now we're playing purple now. Or Polys went from 20-cent card to a $5 card, and now the alternate is 35. That's crazy. He's always good. She is dependently good. He's good, and he will check things like Whitebeard. But also he gets hurt by, like, I'm gonna guess Enel because you can't double swing into it. It's not really gonna do much. Dofi's always gonna be good. I have yet to see a deck with his. Let me see. Is there a deck for Dofi that's Dofla? Excuse me. Interesting. Deck color green. It's all Uta. Odin. Alright, March. Oh, that's the name, sorry. Okay, let me see what this guy did. This guy played film. Oh, okay, he played the Don Quixote family. So, and the kid blocker and the kid. Okay. He played a stage. Okay. Yeah, so that's a new take on Dofi right there. So that's cool. Yeah, so definitely some potential there, I think, with him. So I think these stay. I'm gonna put him up because he has similar results to like Luffy, I think. He falls out because of Whitebeard, I think. She's untried. I think I'm gonna put us in male, so they're okay. She's okay. He's. I'm gonna bring him down actually. I think I'm getting to where I want to be and like, be happy with that. Meh. I like the idea of blocking. I like that idea though. That's meh. I want to bring him to meh. He's troll. He's trolling. That's bad. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I think. Okay. I think there's a list that I'm comfortable with almost. Sakisuki is the best deck in the format, I think, but it's finally gonna meet the Western mentality, so we'll see how it does. He is the check for Enel. Purple is gonna have ramp. It's another option that you can play for purple. Enel has some of the best triggers in the game. Super good leader in defense because it can't just die in one go. You have to have multiple attacks lined up against them. Law is just law, super consistent. Every now and then it'll break, but other than that, when it pops up, it pops off. The fact that it plays no new cards since the beginning of the game is insane. Whitebeard is super good. He's back, baby. I think it's going to be one of my top choices for playing in Amsterdam when I go in a few weeks. Sorrow, I don't know if Sorrow is going to go back to the build that had the buggy and all the events, and if it does, that's hella annoying, and I hate you if you're playing that build, because it's really annoying. No, I'm just kidding, I love you. And yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of like a top 6. They're like potentially one could be better than the other, but right now, because I'm just guesstimating what's going to be the best in the format, I think these 6 are a good estimate. Alright, should Red Green Law be playing events or only characters? Thinking of Radical Beam specifically. No, so Red Green Law, same beam because of Red Beam, plays very little events. It does not play that many. It plays mostly characters because you want to fill up your board. You want to have small bodies on board so you can shambles them with a leader effect. And you normally get your value from swapping your little kit, your little guys, for bigger bodies. Like, it's all mid-range. You know, Blocker Law, Rush Luffy, Basil Hawkins, kind of like that. So, very rarely, from my recollection of how people play Law, it's like you play a Rap Beam, or you play a couple guard points. You would play maybe a Red Hawk for the mirror match, but they don't necessarily go out of the way and play Jet Pistol and play, you know, Punk Gibson. They play more characters because it's a combo-oriented deck. So by having events, you're lessening the chances of getting your combo, per se. And it's already a deck that has a probability of breaking and getting cards you can't combo out of. Like, if you have all green, you can't switch into red cards, for example, and vice versa. So, yeah, so that's done, I think. I'll put him only beneath because he's right here. Same for this one because he is a mix of this guy and this guy. Film Kit is just not as consistent, but it's a good aggro deck, it's a swarm deck. And for Rush Luffy, I think that is what it plays. Maybe, no. I don't think it plays all like that. Let me see. For reference, I don't know what it plays now. But for example, we're going to go into Eggman events. Thank you, Eggman, for this website. That's amazing. One Piece example. So, Kingdoms of Intrigue. Knoxville. Let me see. Knoxville. Very first one. Tack. Woodridge. Not. Okay, this is this one. Top Cut. This one played 1. So, because what happens is you're not hard casting, you're not paying the cost of 5 for the Luffy. You're gonna play Nami, search your card, and then you're gonna do your leader effect from a green to a red and play that. Or next turn you can swap out your Nami and play the restand Law or whatever. So very different things you can do. But as you can see, this is a format that had only 1 Rat Beam, and they only played 3 events. The 1 Rat Beam and 2 Red Hawks, which is mostly for the mirror match. So that's that. I don't know how much it would change for OP05, but I don't think it's that much different. Or maybe it is. Let me law. Red. Law top 8 Malaysia CS. Okay, that's not bad. 3 on 3. Qualifier. Let's look at this one. Little bodies, 2K Luffy. And now places Robin. I saw it coming. Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah, hardly anything changes. So, yeah, that's what it plays even on OP05 meta. So, that's that. So this one, yeah, this guy's beneath Luffy. This guy's beneath Whitebeard. These two are really good, though. He's kind of good. Always never gonna go into this. I think he's kind of good because of the situation right now with purple cards. Same with blue. Always random, a wild card. This is situationally because we have Whitebeard back. This is good, but not as good as Luffy in my opinion. This is good. It could be better. I don't know if we're gonna get more people playing it because of a new Donkey Family archetype, like the boost that I got. He's okay. He falls behind because now we have a full power red color. And then she seems interesting. I think it can pop off. It's got some good triggers to play and interesting red characters like Karasu. Karasu is really strong, and Marley being unblockable is really strong. It's like you give him to Dawn, it's unblockable. You know, it's an unblockable character, and it's searchable by the Bellabetta character. This one, he's okay. He could be better, he could be worse. He is definitely not the worst card. That's red, that's black, and that's gonna be Sakasuki. Same with Yamato. It just falls behind the other yellow leaders because it doesn't play 10-drop Big Mom, or it doesn't have a busted ability like the ability to heal life. He is good, he's okay, but he's not as good as this guy because Blue's kit of removal is so strong, and that adds to Blue's kits of removal. He is not as good as Lucci. It's nice to have a plus 1000. It puts you on Whitebeard numbers, but at the same time, Lucci is the reason why Whitebeard gets threatened, and he's not. He's meh. It's a nice effect, but like to play defensively with red and black is kind of weird. This it sounds kind of cool, but also you could be playing a better green leader, or you could be playing a better blue leader. This one is interesting. Essentially, you use playing to play Onigashima and to play 10-drop Kaido. Ivanko's inconsistent. Really good defense. I love the Sabo, I love the Borsalino, I love all that. But he doesn't have... I don't know. I don't think he has enough firepower. I think he runs out of gas. This one's interesting, but the drawing mechanic for him is just okay. It's nothing crazy. She's okay. These two moms are not... They have fallen off heavily, and I think they are beneath Yamato. Croc, same. He's not... His kit is okay. There's better dual color leaders out there, and there's better purple options now. Same with Zed. I think blue and black has been a better combo than it has been purple and black, unfortunately, even though on paper this guy seems busted. If you're playing these leaders, you're trolling, you're memeing, cannot attack, the effect's really weak. It's you might as well be Kinemon. This guy, I think they can crack him one day, maybe with different characters, but right now with the cards available, he's not it. Kuro was a product of the ban list in the West. That's why he was better, and now that Whitebeard's back on full power, I don't think he's as good. So if you're not playing Kid and you play him instead, you're trolling. Same with this guy. You can play Kinemon, you can play Kid, you can play Enel Katakuri. If you're not playing those and you play him, you're trolling. Same with this guy. You could be playing Luffy, Law, the other Luffy, so you're trolling. This guy, he's just bad. It's not worth the effect and the investment of Dawn. She only boosts non-effect characters. and if it's triggered, it counts towards an effect, so you can't even do that. You can't even boost your carrot, for example. Really bad effect. It's very situational. You might as well be Kaido. You might as well any of the two Kaidos actually, Kaido or Queen. He's a good idea, kind of, but like the only thing I've seen people play is you play Dressrosa and Straw Hat Pirates, and you're trying to combo into the King Kong gun for like an OTK, but that's super situational. This guy does not have it. Working with vanillas is really difficult, and green and blue are decks that have always effects, and having vanillas does not take advantage of it. This guy, you're playing Leader Kobe. This chick cannot attack. The red Alabasta cards that support it are really bad. So say this is Rebecca's support, and this is Vivi's support. It doesn't make any sense. It's like they did not respect Vivi at all. They did not want to give her a similar kit to Rebecca. So I think maybe they were hoping that people will play Straw Hat Pirates or something, but she needs Alabasta exclusive support to make her better, and that support is not good, unfortunately. Also, red and blue they don't really mesh well, so that could be another thing. This guy, I don't really know what to tell you. I think he's obviously the weakest out of the three. His effect's not crazy, and you have to pay Dawn to boost them all the time. So why have him be at 5 life? It's going to be minus attack. You have to pay Dawn to bring him back to normalcy. So that's why I think he's But yeah, I think that's going to be the list. Feel free to roast me. Call me names on Twitter, on Reddit, on Discord. If it is on Discord or Facebook, I'll delete your post because I'm a mod. Just kidding. Remember, it's all in good fun. You are welcome to play whatever deck you want to play, because one, is your money, it's your personal belongings. You can do whatever you want. If you want to play Uta, play Uta. You want to play Shanks, play Shanks. I love character Shanks. I love leader Shanks. It's just that I don't want to be entirely handicapped playing a leader like Shanks, you know. Like, I want to be in a more even playing field, so I would rather play like Katakuri, I would rather play Dofi or Nami, So that's the way I see it, at least, Any deck can win. No deck is 100% guaranteed victory, because many things can happen. You could have Sakatsuki against Uta, and maybe Sakatsuki bricks. It draws nothing. And at that point, maybe Uta, curse the hell out of you and just draws vanilla for vanilla for vanilla. And then Sakatsuki loses, Anything can happen. This game is sort of like a coin flip. It's RNG based. So you are free to play the leader you want to play, But if you want to have better results, you should always want to try and play like the better ones, because there's a reason why they play them. They're more consistent. They have better effects. They're in better colors or archetypes. They have better support. But again, like I said from the very beginning, I don't have Luffy's. I don't have Shanks. I am basing this merely on how I play the game, how I see my friends play the game, how I see people send me deck lists from across the world, in Asia, Europe, Latin America, Oceania, and the United States, North America. And that's how I see this meta shaping up. It could change. We don't know. There's very little testing that we can do, because the next event is this Saturday in LA, I believe, and it's going to be a 3v3 and also a regional. So that takes away from the player pool, because people can go play a regional, but the 3v3 still has Luffy, it still has Zoro, it still has Chopper and Usopp, and it's specifically 3v3 stamp, and the top two get winner stamps. Winner gets winner, and the top two get Luffy's, and that's both two teams, so 6 players get Luffy's. So it's a really plus event to play at. So that might detract from the quality of players playing in that regional, in my opinion. So whatever wins in that regional may not be exactly what defines the meta, because we might have other players playing the 3v3 instead. Like, I don't fully recall, one sec on negative matchups for Whitebeard. I don't fully recall, but I think Cross and Jackson and Kevin Shao and other people, they're gonna be playing at the 3v3, and these guys are like the top players for One Piece card game. They're not playing at the regional. So therefore, what does that mean? It is leaving other players that are not constant toppers might have a chance to win at the event. Anybody can win, of course, but you're missing out on these big players that know how to get to top 8 and so on, you know. So that's how I see it. And after that, there's no events until the European finals, and that event happens a week before the North American, Latin American, and Oceania finals. So I don't think we're gonna see a defined meta until after European finals, because it's gonna be a 2,500 person event, and even though it's held in Europe and Amsterdam and in Netherlands, anyone can participate in these events. The only catch is that you cannot represent that region if you're not from that region. And I already know a handful of players from North America that are going to Europe, myself included. And I think it's Nicky Goldman, and I think William Craddock is going to. Don't quote me on that, but I think he is. So if these American players are going, they're definitely going to help define that meta for the North American finals as well. And after that, there isn't much going on other than treasure cups that haven't been announced yet. They haven't said any locations or dates. All I said is new pricing. We have the Garp and the Kobe, and they're gonna change out the Queen Zoro Marco pricing. Yeah, that's that. And after that is Worlds. And Worlds is in March, and that's gonna be the top 16, 32, whatever in the world. You know, that's a different format. But yeah, let me go into this. So matchups for Whitebeard. I'm gonna tell you right now, the only thing I know for Whitebeard is that when you're playing as Whitebeard, blue is so bad against you because... Sorry, you're so bad against blue because if they see their 3,000 worlds, they see their red rocks, you are crippled really, really bad. And the best way to combat that is to hope that they don't have the entirety of the removal, and also that you have to go wide. So like on your 8 dawn turn, you play 2 4-drops. So therefore, you're splitting your board apart so that they have to focus on one or the other, and therefore, even if they go ahead and 3,000 worlds you still have the other character that's a 4-drop 6,000 attack. So that's as far as you just have to hope they don't have it, and that's part of the RNG. Like you playing yellow, you're gonna hope that you have it too for your triggers. But Whitebeard is strong in general because you have a 6,000 body. You now have 4 Marcos, 4 of both of them. You have 4 Rap Beam. So I'm interested to see how well it's gonna do now that Rap Beam is back, because playing that new gate back to back to back to back and having that boost is really, really strong. And now I believe that new people play the Rush Sanji from the starter deck, so that's another thing. But yeah, and also Whitebeard threatens Law, it threatens Katakuri. I don't quite know how it interacts with Enel, but I'm gonna guess that it's not so hot against Enel because you have to have several attacks lined up against Enel in order to be able to kill it. And in all that time, Enel can KO or remove everything but Nugget itself, because Enel plays Yamato and it plays Katakuri, and it can play the 7-drop Big Mom. So nothing is safe below 8 cost. So your ace your king do, your dash, it's all gonna get put back into life. And to play it again costs you energy, costs you Dawn. So that's difficult for you to get, to catch up as you have lost a character. And they have a new character as 8,000 attack power. So that's kind of difficult for you to get over. And yeah, I'm not sure. But I think its hardest matchups will be like Enel, Lucci. We have the mirror itself probably. It's always sucky. Where is it? Sakasugi's going to be a tough matchup, I think, because it plays the same removal that Croc or Luffy played. So, yeah. But again, I'm not the expert in Whitebeard. If you want to ask the expert on Whitebeard, head up Garrett Farrington on Facebook or on Discord. We have the Worst Generation Discord. If you want to check it out, I'm going to actually link it up over here. Put it in chat. Yeah, so that is the Worst Generation Discord. In there, my friend Garrett, Evan, and I are in there, and those two people are some of the best players in the state of Florida. I will say also in the country, because like these guys, they revolutionized playing Whitebeard. Garrett is actually the first person to win the format where Whitebeard got limited to 1. He went 10-0 in the online regional by core. So he made a whole new deck that had never been seen before, because he topped Emporia playing Boat, which is a variant that not many people did, and that deck list was amazing. It was the most fun I ever had playing the deck, in my opinion, and it wasn't played that much. A lot of people were playing just the Whitebeard Pirates without Whitebeard, or they were playing Strawbeard, and he was the one that popularized it. And then when Whitebeard got limited to 1, he also popularized playing that and played tech cards like Crossfire. That was really, really good. So yeah, if you want to ask people about Whitebeard, please ask Garrett. He's the expert. Let him know. I do think he's considering playing Whitebeard at Nats. So, or he might not. Maybe he'll play Kit or Nami. But don't forget the recently added Patreon where you can get coaching from some of the best in the game. That will depend on whether or not Garrett's not in Epcot visiting the World Showcase, because the Patreon is his. He's the one that runs it, not me. I don't have time for that, and I don't think Evan does either, because we both work different full-time jobs at different hours. Evan works like graveyard shift at Universal, and I work every afternoon to night at Disney, so that's difficult for us. And so that's his thing. If you want to hit him up about that, you know where to find him on Facebook. I recommend you ask him on Discord too, not on Twitter, because I'm the one that runs the social media. I'm the one that runs the Twitter account and the Facebook one. So you can ask him on his personal Facebook or on Discord. You can do it there. He's active, so. But I do believe he has the links on the Discord too. But yeah, that's the list. I'm gonna... Holy Jesus moly. How long have we been doing this? Fudge. Okay. I'm gonna... I don't want to say when I play. So it's 4 in the morning here in the United States in a Eastern time zone. So let me find someone else that I can rate this to. And I'll call it a stream with this tier list. It was really fun. I actually enjoyed doing this a lot more than I thought I was going to do. So I really like this idea. I will definitely be making more tier lists on Twitch, because it's fun to interact with people as I do it too. So this is really cool. I like this here. But in the meantime, give me a second. I'm going to find someone else to give a rate to and share the love with the One Piece card game. Someone that also, enjoys this game, because we have to. People are opening packs. Let's see. I think I'm gonna see. Oh no, you're AFK. What we got here? That's fine. Chill out and place Papa Newgate. Hey, Newgate, there we go. That's what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna raid this fella here. Hold on. Duplicate. Let me see if I haven't forgotten how to do raids, because it's been a minute. So, good night, bro. Looking forward to watching your stream more often. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's going to be a graveyard ship kind of stream because I get out of work late. So, I'm going to try doing raid. Start a goal. No, raid. Whoa, pause. Does this work? Let me see. Subscribers. Okay, is follower, subscriber only chat. Alright, so I'm gonna send you off to Prof Void 1. So thank you guys for watching the stream. I appreciate you coming by here this late in the evening or this early in the morning for you. Like I said, I'm gonna keep trying my best to stream at night after I get out of work because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy interacting with you guys. I didn't have the time and I wasn't in a good mental space back then. But now I feel a lot better and I want to interact with you guys and enjoy this game alongside you. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to pass you over to Prof Boyd over here. So have a great night.